Hello, everyone, and welcome to Real Women, Real Purpose Talk Show. I think we're live now, Ginny. Does it look like we're live to you?
Does, yes.
Fantastic. So, welcome, everybody. If you didn't just hear me, welcome to Real Women, Real Purpose Talk Show. We are live in the On Purpose Woman Global Community Facebook group. I'm Kathryn Yarborough, and I'm one of the hosts, the regular hosts of this Real Women, Real Purpose talk show. And I'm with the other regular host of this talk show, Ginny Robertson. Hello, Ginny.
Hey, Kathryn. Hi, everybody.
So, my friends, today we're going to be talking about the subtle ways that we hide our light. And in just a minute, I'm going to invite Ginny and myself to introduce ourselves to you. But I want to get started with a question. We're going to come back to us shining the light on ourselves. And I want to start with the question about what is our light? Because we're looking at what are the subtle ways we hide our light. So I thought it would be useful to just shine some light on this whole concept of light. So, Ginny, do you want to kick us off with what your thoughts are about what is light? What are we talking about?
Sure. When I think of shining my light, for me, it's kind of what's inside, like the essence of who I am gets to come out. The real me, the authentic me, and it comes out in joy. I can't imagine shining my light if no, I'm going to take that back. I started to say I can't imagine shining my light if I'm not in joy, but there's times that we shine our light and we've got to be serious. We're talking about something that's important and serious, but I can still be joyful in that. So I'll table that one for now. But yeah, it's the real me that gets to show up with no reservations.
And just to clarify a little bit for us to just have a conversation. So you say it's the real you that gets to show up. That is your light versus what's not the real you.
That part that's guarded, that part that's concerned about what other people are going to think, the part that says, "Oh, I probably shouldn't do that," or "I don't really know enough." For example, somebody who really has something to say, but they're afraid to say it because they're afraid they'll make a mistake or they're not the best at it. They're not really an expert. So I think we shine our light waiting to be perfect. We don't want to show ourselves until we think
hide our light. We hide our light.
Yes, we hide our light. Sorry, because we're not perfect yet. That makes sense to you?
Yes. So, okay. So let me just say this, and we'll keep talking about this because I think it's interesting. So from my perspective at this juncture in my life, when I think of the term light and shining our light, I refer to it, or I'm thinking about a unique vibration. That is me. So yeah, so there's no one like you. There's no vibration like you. There's no vibration like me. It is unique. And it similar to our thumbprints and our voice prints. There's no other energetic print like mine. So my sense about this whole shining of who we are, like we were talking a little bit before we got started and just kind of making sure we were on the same page with a few things. Just for the audience, that we were talking about that too, but for our listeners, and we were talking about this and kind of the difference between shining our light and what's the other thing that's happening. And I think that what you were referring to, that hiding, that's one thing that we do. And there's this, I don't want to call it an obscuration. Is that the right word? We obscure the light through, so if we were all born and we came out of the womb and we're just, for the most part, 99.9% totally, or 100% if we haven't been wounded at all so far, our light is shining, but it's not, we can't communicate it well as infants because all we can do is cry and smile or whatever. Well, as soon as we can do those things. So as we develop, we seem to put something over that, layers over that. And sometimes it looks like what you're talking about, that hiding, And sometimes I think it just looks like our personalities.
Mm-hmm. It's shyness. I think
It,
sometimes people will be labeled shy because
well,
they're not, they're not out there. And see, I think maybe it's also definition, because I think that the way we're talking about light is on a deeper level than just showing up, because
right.
we can show up and be fake. We can show up and pretend, So I think that we get labeled, though, sometimes when we're young, because we're not showing up the way people think we should be. And then that tends to have us shrink down more and maybe hide our light, because we haven't even had the opportunity to really shine it yet, if that makes sense. We're already being formed, and or is it safe to shine it? We may have learned at a very young age that it's not even safe to let that light out in certain situations.
And I think for me, as I was getting ready for this conversation, I was thinking that there's a difference between hiding and hiding your light.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're shy, you may just be hiding. That might be an aspect of hiding your light. We can, I mean, I can be like out there. People who see me, I can be this effervescent, like, wow, cheerleader person. Now, that's an aspect of who I am, but sometimes it's over the top, Jenny, I think. Sometimes it can be an obscuration, a way in which I've adapted to life and people that isn't necessarily my true light. But I could still be out there.
Sure. Yeah, and that really isn't an indication at all, I don't think of. And that's why, even if you talk, and it doesn't have anything to do with light or hiding or not shining our light or whatever, or just the subtle ways that we don't let it out there. But when people get labeled introvert, extrovert, it's kind of that same, it's a behavior. It's and while no people don't want to believe that I'm truly an introvert internally, I can act extroverted however I need to. And I enjoy it. But then I have to pull back in and do the introverted thing for a while. And I think that when we're just, if I were just pretending to be extroverted all the time, or just acting extroverted because it called for it here and I'm okay with it, that would not be hard to shine my light in those situations, because it would not be who I am. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but they're like all these little intricacies of the whole topic. And I didn't even realize until we got into talking about it. With myself, I thought I was really clear thinking about this topic, but it's just all these little ins and outs of what is the difference between hiding our light and shining our light, or hiding our light and
versus
hiding.
hiding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, as you know, because you signed up for my first Unleash Your Light on Facebook program, and I'll be doing another one sometime in the next couple of months, either starting in April or May. And so I'm getting to shine the light on the whole idea of light and unleashing our light. And it's fascinating to me because I think that the people who signed up for it are both get that. I think on some level they want to do what we're talking about in terms of really shining their unique essence, letting that out, but also the practical functions of showing up, not hiding on Facebook, actually doing like Facebook Lives, like we're doing this, and being seen. And it's a combination, I think, for entrepreneurs, for probably most on-purpose spiritual entrepreneurs, that we want to shine our unique essence, let our essential vibration come through what we do as fully as possible, plus be seen, so that we can do the work we're called to do and make the difference we're here to make. But it's interesting.
It is,
subtleties.
because we could be seen and still hide our light big time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could be, and if I'm out there just wanting to be seen, I'm probably not going to also attract the people I'm actually looking to attract, because it's not going to be real. Or I could be a real jerk just because I'm being seen, So yeah, it's a deep topic. What if anybody's written a book on this? Have you ever read a book called Shine Your Light?
I'm sure there are.
Your light kind of thing.
I'm sure there are books on it. I did a little research and found a website that was Christian based, and it was about shining your light. And I'm not, for folks who are listening, Jenny knows this, I'm not Christian. I'm very spiritual, but not at all religious. And it was nice for me to read this and not have any kind of charge, because I often have a kind of charge when I read things that strongly Christian people write. For some reason, I often feel a kind of like, oh, don't preach at me kind of thing. I don't know what that's about. Maybe they're trying to preach at me and I'm feeling that. Maybe I've got some defensive structure up. But this particular article was nice. And as I went through it, there were 4 or 5 points. One of the things that I read in it, he was talking about the Bible instructions to shine our light. And basically saying the same thing we just said in Christian terms, which is that our light is like the God vibration. It's the vibration of God, which I can relate to those terms. Like, okay, yes, my unique vibration is the divine vibration that is me. It's like, okay, I can work with that. And he talked about light as illuminating. And it really made me think, like, okay, if I'm shining my light, what am I illuminating? And if I'm hiding my light, what am I not illuminating? And how does that relate to I'm a unique vibration? So maybe it's my job as I shine my light to illuminate a unique piece of this that we all are. And same for everybody.
Yeah, that makes me think in a different way as well, because if I'm illuminating, which is what shining a light is, it's illuminating something. Am I illuminating myself, or am I shining my light so that others may be illuminated as well? That's also a very interesting concept.
Or a concept is, am I shining my light so an idea can be illuminated? I do think you've gotten super clear, and maybe it's time for us to shine our light on each other, because one of the things that you've gotten super clear in the last several months with your business and your mission is that you are here to shine the light on people and give them a platform to be seen.
Yeah.
And so, okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, and it would be, I don't know that and maybe the reason it took me this long to get clear on that, it just kind of was of levels of things unfolding underneath it all, is that I can't shine a light on you if I don't have my light out. So if I'm hiding my light, I can't shine it on anyone else, right? So I think, and this just came to me just this moment, that maybe one of the reasons it's taken me this long is that it took me a while to get comfortable with shining my light, because that whole shining our light thing can also be flipped around on things that I heard growing up. Oh, if you shine your light too much, you're showing off, or it was seen as bragging, and I think that's all indoctrination that some of us, especially of a certain age, get, when we're children, that you're supposed to be a certain way. And so it took me a while to see this as not, oh, I think I'm all that kind of stuff, which has nothing to do with it, but yet there's this way that I could tie it all together. So how can I shine my light on you, Kathryn Yarborough, and the amazing things, give you opportunities to show up and be seen and heard, if I'm still thinking, that's a little too big for me,
And isn't that interesting? I so appreciate you bringing that up, Jenny, because for those of you who don't know Jenny, she is the founder of the On Purpose Woman community, which was birthed 21 years ago, and she has been showing up. Jenny, you've been showing up for 21 years with this community, with opportunities for us to gather, with opportunities for us to step up. But there's a subtle difference that's happened, and that speaks to there was a way in which you were subtly hiding your light.
I think so. Yeah.
Because you were showing up, but it wasn't as full out as you are now. And now it's like, look at this. This is amazing. I mean, at least I'm seeing you and the On Purpose Woman community so much more on Facebook. But I just think it's not just there. It just feels like there's this whole thing that's happened. Like it's like the light rays that shine out, like it's happening.
Yeah.
So can you speak to that sense a little bit more about, for you, anything else that you say about the subtle ways in which you hid your light?
Yeah. I started this group, kind of accidentally in a way, just evolved into something. I had no idea that I was starting a group really, or what it would be, or how long it would last, or that it would be mainly for women entrepreneurs, even though other women are certainly welcome. That's just how it unfolded. But in the early days of it, it was also a business. So I was concentrating a lot on, I've got to pay for these meeting spaces, and I've got to charge for meetings, and I've got to get members, and I've got to get income to keep it going. And that really hasn't changed. But what's changed, I think, is that the focus shifted for me. The focus and it was growth, just growth. I started out just kind of in the woods about being an entrepreneur to begin with, but much less, my own light was still pretty dark. I was working through a bunch of stuff. I was going through some real changes and shifts and all that. And I think what's happened over the years is I've gotten much more comfortable with, if I can find words for it, with you being in the spotlight. With you being in the spotlight, I've been in the spotlight. I love the spotlight. I don't have to be in the spotlight all the time anymore. I used to want to be in the spotlight all the time because I wasn't for a long time. I wouldn't let myself be that way. So I think I went almost in the other directions, like, oh, look at me, look at me. Yeah, I'm going to be front and center. And I think when I look back at some of the meetings, I think a lot of them, and don't tell me if this is true, Kathryn, I don't want to know, but I think, a lot of them were more about me, and they were more about, I took a lot of time to talk about what I was doing, what I was offering, and all that kind of stuff. And now it's just more comfortable to just I get a real charge out of other women stepping up and being seen and heard, and anything I can do to amplify that just thrills the hell out of me. So I think that's the big difference. And I can't tell you why it was like that. It was just I was on a path. I was just on a path, and one thing would fall away and I would learn something else. And then, so now I'm in an age and a place in my life where I feel so good and centered with myself and what I'm doing, and so clear on it that I love these Facebook live calls. I live without doing them. I don't have to be seen on Facebook like this. I like it. I'm not hiding from it though. That's the difference. And maybe that's what maybe we need to really emphasize, is that, you don't have to always be out there, like trying to shine your light, because there shouldn't be a trying about it when you get really comfortable with it. It's just there. You can't shut it down. But it's okay to not be seen all the time too, if that's what you're equating with shining your light. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Isn't this an interesting topic? So I've got several things to say in response to what you've just said. And I want to invite our listeners, if you are watching us live, please go ahead and type in your comments and your thoughts. I will do my best to get over there while we're still here to see what you're saying. What are your thoughts about the subtle ways that you have hid your light, or you've seen other, that you see other people do that, or anything like that, or anything that you have to say about light? If you're watching the replay, share your thoughts here. We learn from each other. That's one thing I'm fine with doing all the time, is I love letting other people share their wisdom and seeing what other people have, the wisdom they want to share. But what I wanted to say in terms of what you just said, and how the difference, like you're really letting the on purpose woman community be seen. You're being seen now. Your light is shining now because that. And I wonder, for all of us on this path, if part of that is because as you got clearer in the last approximately 6 months ish, that your mission is to shine the light on others, because you got clear about your mission, that level of your mission. I know there's another mission that you work with, but when there's something that just touches us like that, it's like we don't need to hide anymore. I don't know, it feels like there's something to that for all of us, like getting super clear on the impact we're making on other people, the effect of onto others, because if we feel like what we're doing is actually going to make a difference on other people, then it's a no-brainer. Of course I'm going to show up and be seen and I'm going to be my authentic self, because for me, at least, the way I impact other people is through my true nature. So I heard that in what you just shared.
Mhm. I think you're right. I think, and also I'm really proud of that stand I have now. I'm proud of it. It feels really good. And so when I share it, it's like, it's just who I am. And so, yeah, if I'm not seen, if I'm not out there being seen in the world, I can't shine the light on other people. So it's like this, this circle. I have to show up. I have to be seen. I have to shine my light so I can shine the light on you. You have to show up to give me something to shine the light on. And it's just this, and it all comes down also to communities of women actually doing that for each other, which is, that's been my passion for decades. It's just this whole idea of women supporting each other. And I think that's why some people don't actually get what I'm talking about when I say that. What do you mean shine your light? You want us to shine our light or be seen and heard in a greater way. But if we're hiding that light, again, it's not about everybody being on stage speaking to 10,000 people. To have some influence, we have to have, if we want to make a difference, well, we have to be able to have influence somewhere. Somebody has to listen to us and hear what we have to say and be impacted by it. We can't do that if we're not showing up, and we don't have to do it in huge ways. We can do it with one person. We can help one person at a time. We can influence one person at a time to make a better decision or make a better choice or change something, So I just want to make that clear, because I know there's a lot of women who compare. Well, who am I going to shine my light on? What am I going to, well, what's my light going to do? My light's not all that bright, well, maybe it isn't, but it can be. There's no light measurement here going on. Well, Kathryn's light's brighter than my light. No, it isn't. It's her light. And so,
Well,
yeah.
the other thing that
it might be, I don't know.
Well, of course my light's brighter than you. What are you talking about? No.
And I'm okay if it is.
I love you, Ginny. What a hoot. But you did speak to the possibility of dark light. And I was talking about having stuff covering your light.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have this unique vibration, which I believe, you believe, that we've got this unique energetic vibration that is who we are, and that to me is what our light is, then if we cover it up, whether it's completely covered, which means that we're, people who I think have a completely covered light, they've adapted so much to what happened in their life that they're either doing and being who they think everybody else wanted them to do or be, consciously or unconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
And they can be seen in big ways. There can be celebrities who were seen in big ways, and their unique vibration, which is essence itself, is completely covered over by a bunch of doo-doo. I would call it doo-doo. And they don't even know, which is fine. That's their path. I'm not trying to judge or anything, but the point being that as we be on this spiritual path that probably a lot of people in this community are, and we do conscious breathing, mindfulness practice, gratitude practice, healing, self-healing, spiritual healing, energetic healing, and we do those things, and with each step on that path, the things that covered our unique vibration, our light, fall away. And so you can just be sitting with somebody and who you are shines brightly, so that maybe they're illuminated more to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can step up on a big stage and speak in a way that hundreds of people in the room are touched, so that they illuminate something within themselves from your words and your way of speaking. And that's what I'm hearing you say, Ginny, and my interpretation of what you're saying. So there's that. And then there's the thing that we as entrepreneurs need to do, which is to be seen, not hide.
Right.
And so it's almost to me like that might be a separate conversation. Of course, we've got some time, we can keep talking about it. What are the subtle ways we just hide and not show up? In which case, protect ourselves from failure and rejection and all the other things that, or judgment from other people. Yeah.
But it's really connected, because if I'm hiding, and one subtle way that women entrepreneurs hide, they don't want to be seen on Zoom. I mean, that may sound silly, but it's that, oh gosh, I don't like how I look, or they won't have a picture of themselves on Facebook. It'll be a scene or their grandchildren or somebody, because I don't like myself in a picture. Get over that. In fact, I had a friend tell me one time that her grandmother used to say, nobody likes how they look in pictures because everybody thinks they're prettier than they really are.
Everybody thinks everybody else is prettier than they are.
We think we're prettier than we really are. So every time we take a picture of ourselves, we don't like it. Maybe that's how we really look, I just always thought it was kind of funny, but I mean, she was trying to be funny. It was a joke, but
that is interesting though. Yeah, because I mean, at the essential level, I am really beautiful. And then I look at a picture, I'm like, who's that kind of plump woman there? Okay. So
I think it's that, that's kind of a silly example, but it really isn't, because if you're going to be seen, if you've got a business to begin with, and you've got an opportunity to meet people on a Zoom call, are they going to really connect with you if you're behind a picture of yourself? They can't. They really can't. They can't get to know. You can say whatever you say behind the picture of yourself, but it's not going to have the same impact as it would. So you're hiding, but you're also hiding your light at the same time. They don't both have to happen. I think anytime we're hiding our light. But anytime we're hiding, we're hiding our light, we're not necessarily hiding in the world. Does that make sense? I think I said that the way I meant it to. Yeah.
I get it. Anytime we're hiding, we're hiding and our light's hidden, and people can't find us and can't see us. So let me just read. We have a comment, which is exciting. So I want to say, anybody who's watching, we welcome your comments. Carol wrote,
sorry, that was me.
Oh, okay. Carol wrote, I so agree. When we are aligned with our heart's purpose, our personal fears or feeling of uncomfortableness falls away, and our purpose becomes more important and guides our actions. Thank you, Carol, for confirming what we were just speaking about. Well, I think that point can, obviously resonates with you and I, and with Carol, I'm guessing with other people too. And I think that's another thing that's interesting. I find when a person is really speaking at, I'm going to say, illumination level or truth level, what they're speaking about touches us, touches more of us. There's this ringing of truth. There's something about that authentic light vibration when it comes through that we go, yeah.
It's a resonance. My favorite words, resonates with us, which is a vibration. Resonance is a vibration. So yeah. That's how we find our people pretty often. We'll hear something, somebody will say something, we'll feel this attraction to them and want to know more about what they're saying, or want to know more about them. And that's how we all kind of make our little inroads around the planet.
Interesting. Yes. And little connections, the things that. Well, so you've shared a little bit about who you are. We're reaching towards possibly beginning to wrap our time up. Of course, we can take as long as we want, which is really cool. Is there anything else about you that you feel like you want people to know?
Yes, I am the founder of the On Purpose Woman community, which is now the On Purpose Woman Global Community. And I also founded and published On Purpose Woman magazine for many, many years as a print magazine. And 2 years ago, Kathryn stepped in to help me bring it back as an online magazine. And she does this amazing job of making it look so beautiful. It is full of resources and articles and just information for your mind, your body, your spirit, and your business. It's another way that I shine the light. It's like you get an opportunity to be seen through advertising, to be seen through writing, to be seen as our cover artist, to be seen as one of some of the women that we highlight in the magazine. And it's just great to read. So go check that out at onpurposewomanmagazine.com. And I just, everything that I do, and this is the really cool thing about this stage of my life, everything that I do starts with that. How can I shine the light? How can I illuminate more women? How can I help more women be seen and heard in a greater way? And that just really excites me. How about you, Kathryn? Tell everybody what you're up to.
Well, so given that you like to shine the light on people, why don't you tell people?
Oh, okay. Oh dear. Okay, this was not set up in advance, but you have asked me to do this before one other time. Let's see. Well, I've known Kathryn for almost 21 of those 21 years. You showed up in maybe the second year. I can't remember exactly, but she lived up here in Maryland where I am and showed up to an on-purpose networking for women meeting, it was called at the time. So we've known each other for a really long time and had woven out of each other's lives. But it was only when you moved to Florida that we actually started to even talk more and connect more. And Zoom has been amazing for that. So Kathryn is a masterful entrepreneurial guide, if you will, a guide that helps entrepreneurs, specifically women, even though you do work with men, but I know women tend to be more of your people, to help you move from those places where you are stuck because of the stories you tell yourself, of the things that you still buy into that aren't necessarily true, and to actually go out there and shine your light as well to get past those blocks. She's masterful at that and helping you manifest the clients that you deserve and that you want. And she's created, she has the Manifesting Clients Academy where she helps you manifest clients. Because it's one thing to actually, get by the blocks and do all that other stuff, but then you got to go do that, take that work and go do it. And she also has created a Facebook group called the Moving Sidewalk Movement, which also supports women. I'm gonna say women, if there's any guys watching, call Kathryn, she can help you too. But women in doing that work. How'd I do?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That's really nice.
I've never used before with you, so good. Yeah.
And I just for everybody who's listening, ask a friend to do that sometime. Ask someone to say some stuff about you. What do people say about you? And that's going to help you know how you're shining your light, or if you are hiding your business or your light. If no one around you can say words that speak to who you're being in the world and what your business is about, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
You haven't communicated it well. So thank you, Ginny. You've been listening, and I appreciate it. And you've been listening on many levels. So let me look at my questions here and see if there's anything else that I think would be helpful for us to speak to.
I want to say one sentence that came to me as I was thinking about this that I hadn't thought of before in this way, that our light is our power. And I'd never looked at it that way before. That's our power in the world. It's like we plug in and we get, and then we share our power. And I know there are a lot of women who have trouble with the power word. It's not, power is not the issue. It's how we use our power that becomes the issue. So, make friends with the power word.
Wow. Okay. So power. Interesting. Thank you for that, for adding that piece that I would say is not little. A little piece that's not little at all. And yes, let's plug in. Let's let it run through us. Let's be it and be seen and let our light shine through us.
Yes. I think there's a Ginny Robertson poster of that I think that needs to be a poster now, right? I've never heard anybody else say that, so I think I made it up. There we go. Yeah.
Do. Absolutely. Yes. All right, my friend. So I'm thinking we're wrapping up now. Does that sound good to you, Ginny?
It sure does. I think we touched everything that we had hoped to touch today. And this is an endless conversation. So.
All right, my friends. So thank you for being here with us. Please share your comments below. We do want to hear from you. I love to hear from folks and find out what you're thinking about this idea of not of the subtle ways that you have hidden your light or that you want to stop hiding your light. So let's hear about that. And thank you everyone for joining us for this Real Women, Real Purpose talk show live in the On Purpose Woman Global community. And we will be uploading it to our YouTube channel. So you may be watching this as a replay in the On Purpose Woman Global community, or as a replay on YouTube. So if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go to YouTube and subscribe to the On Purpose Woman Global Community YouTube channel. You will also find all the other Real Women, Real Purpose talk shows that we've had up until now. We started last summer, in the summer of 2020, and I believe that it is, and we're going to continue to do this show. So you're going to keep getting cool information, inspiration from amazing women that Ginny attracts and who I attract too, because I'm one of the co-leaders here in my own way. And I want to shine the light on my wonderful On Purpose solopreneur clients as well as others. So join us. Now, Jenny's going to be back for another show on Thursday, January 21st. She's going to talk to Maria Lopez about the subject is without all the colors in the rainbow, there is no rainbow. So what a wonderful next topic that really, in many ways, I think goes with this conversation, but we'll see what Maria has to say. I'll be back here with Ginny on February 9th, and we're going to talk about dealing with rejection. So interesting that also works really well with this topic around hiding, because we hide out of fear of rejection. So be sure to tune into that February 9th for a list of all of the topics coming up for this January-February period of 2021. Please go to the On Purpose Woman magazine that Ginny was just referring to a few minutes ago. onpurposewomanmagazine.com is our website, and you can find there our current issue, as well as a link to go to our past issues. There's some amazing, wonderful articles in the magazines. And of course, I think the magazine is beautiful because I'm the person who puts it all together and makes it beautiful. So enjoy the beauty of it as well. All right, my friends, I think that is everything that I am here to say with you. If you have not, just as an aside, folks, if you have not tried an On Purpose Woman gathering, we have lots of gatherings going on right now in the Global Community Facebook group. At the very top, there's a pinned post there from Ginny that lists all of the times that are available for you to try a gathering out, or return and then join the On Purpose Woman Global Community, especially if you're an entrepreneur, so that you can be seen and Ginny and I can shine the light on you. All right, my friends.
Thank you,
Bye.
Kathryn. That was great. Bye, everybody. Thanks
Bye.
for watching.